Now to an issue facing communities across the state of Florida, including ours. Right now, tens of thousands of children don't have a stable place to call home.
And tonight, 10 Tampa Bay's Miranda Parnell is in studio taking a deeper dive into why, from family instability to housing costs.
Groups across the Bay Area are working to combat homelessness. Some are making sure that a specific group doesn't get overlooked: homeless children. I spoke with a woman who has made saving these children her life's mission, as well as with a man who has had his own journey with child homelessness. When you think of homelessness, who comes to mind?
Change the stigma of homelessness. It's not just the person you see outside asking you for money.
Most often we see those who are chronically homeless, but in reality,
the close calls, the working mother with 2 kids who's on a fixed income, but all of a sudden her landlord raises the rent by 50%.
People are feeling the impact of inflated costs of everyday goods and housing, and it's putting them and their families in jeopardy.
This is actually an invisible national epidemic.
Meet Vicky Sokolik. She started her own nonprofit to help teens that the government refers to as unaccompanied homeless youth. She calls them family.
Absolutely. These are kids who actually value their education. They're trying to go to school. They're trying to make good decisions. But without support and a stable place to live, there's no way that could happen.
Sokolik says her organization, called Starting Right Now, helps teens who fall into a gray area that makes it harder for them to get help. They are homeless and they are minors, but they don't qualify for foster care because
they left home versus being taken from their home. There's lots of drugs and alcohol in the house. There's incarceration where the kids have nowhere to go. There's death, there's abuse, there's neglect. And sadly, almost 100% of our girls have been raped in their home by several family members.
Sokolik says her organization does it all, giving these teens a safe home, mentorship, academic support, and guidance all the way through their post-graduation goals.
100% of our kids graduate from high school and go on. 1% go to the military, about 11% do vocational training, and the rest go to higher education.
And since the pandemic, Sokolik says the members of this family have been getting younger and younger.
Florida is 5th for the number of unaccompanied homeless youth. I can tell you that that's an undercounted number. Families have really sadly fallen apart. And a lot of it is probably because of the pandemic, but some of it is really just because of the way Tampa St. Pete has grown. They can't afford housing.
Attorney Aaron Swift is the vice chair of the Pinellas Homeless Leadership Alliance. He's served on the board of a women's shelter called Alpha House, and he's also had firsthand experience with homelessness.
My guess is people looking at me now, I'm the owner and partner of a law firm. You wouldn't think that I had ever been homeless, but the success of homelessness services are why I'm here today.
Swift was homeless as a child when his mother packed up him and his sister to get away from an abusive relationship.
And what I remember the most is the instability, the not knowing where you're going to sleep, not knowing where your next meal was going to come from, if you're going to be warm. For a young child, how important are those things? To know you're going to have a bed to sleep in and the same place to sleep in over a period of time. And it's one thing for adults to navigate that, but children are vulnerable. They don't have their own income, their own ability to make choices.
As difficult as it was to leave, Swift says his mother knew that staying in a relationship that put her and her children in constant danger was even riskier than homelessness. So she turned to local resources to get on her feet.
It's hard enough to raise a child. Imagine raising a child or children while homeless, trying to do best for them, and they're trying to do the best themselves. It impacts every part of your life. It impacts school, friends, your ability to connect with people.
According to data from a 2023 district count, 3,768 students in Pinellas County reported experiencing homelessness, with Hillsborough County reporting an estimated 4,265 students experiencing homelessness in November of the same year.
And it's only going to get worse if we don't have programs that support these kids.
While those giving back continue to highlight the issue of need in our community, they say it's important that those who are struggling know there are places that can help them get back on their feet.
Reach out for help. Friends and family, of course, but the government, we have lots of resources.
While thousands of kids in the Bay Area face uncertainty about what's next, local advocates are working to make sure they don't fall through the cracks.
We're a family. We form a family, and we're here for these kids forever.
There are so many people who have done it, who have gotten out, who are now living rewarding lives. And just know you're not alone. That's the biggest thing.
Local nonprofits are looking to get an even more accurate idea of just how many people in our area are facing homelessness right now. To do that, something called a point in time or pit count is done with the help of volunteers who go out into the community and try to account for anyone without a home. Pit counts were recently conducted in both Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. In the studio, Miranda Parnell, 10 Tampa Bay.